Police emergency.
Ambulance service.
When crisis strikes,
My wife has just stopped breathing.
this is where we turn.
Got some help coming.
People don't realise what you might face in one shift.
You've ordered a Big Mac and it's not come back to you.
Yeah.
It's the emergency services who get to see firsthand what Britain is really like today.
He's waiting for a mate to come back, that's all.
Under arrest on suspicion of burglary.
And how we're changing.
Where's the drugs? We've got crack and heroin in there.
There's little that shocks me, if I'm honest.
We've got terrorists around here.
Politically, we're being challenged. Culturally, we're being challenged.
Do you remember calling him fucking Packy?
There's less about the middle and it's all about the extremes.
Just now in custody, you said I just killed a man.
For the nation's ambulance and police services, times have never been tougher.
Don't say anything, but in my own defence, if you don't mention down to go, boy, down to go.
Every year there's less money.
Every time I actually leave the place, there's nowhere. We are on our way.
Every year there's more demand.
Someone's breaking into my house. Hurry up, please, hurry up.
It's hard. Actually, we're all cracking under the pressure.
But when we need help,
What's happening?
I'm there now.
there's still the one number the country relies on most.
Tell me how close the baby is to being born.
Look at and go, ah. No, well done.
If we all a little bit more caring, a little bit more observant of how each other live, everyone would be taken care of.
I want to say thank you for being an absolute star.
Oh my God, please.
Yeah, we're going to get somebody on their way down, don't you worry.
Oh my God, thank you.
In Wiltshire,
Hands behind your back now.
and right across the UK,
You're under arrest on suspicion of possession of an offensive weapon.
it seems more and more people
I'm not disputing that I had a baseball bat on me.
are being tempted to take the law into their own hands.
I could have stopped off at the park and played baseball.
But you didn't, did you?
With police forces stretched
Every time I ring the police, they don't get here in time. So I just start smashing these people up myself.
and faith in the criminal justice system at an all-time low,
I've had loads of kit pinched, but the reality is you never find it.
is this a worrying trend that's only set to get worse?
All it takes is that bad decision, and you just can't take back what's happened.
Police emergency.
Hello, a load of twats on their bikes. They've all ganged up, threatened to kick me head in and everything.
Oh, they're saying it to you, are they?
Yes, don't waste your time. Get a copper in now, or else I'll sort it out myself, right?
The call handlers in Wiltshire Police's 999 emergency control room
Wiltshire, police.
Yes, what's the emergency?
Wiltshire, police, please.
are increasingly hearing from people who are no longer prepared to wait for the police to come to their aid.
You're speaking to Wiltshire Police. What is your emergency?
Why the fuck are you not here?
I think people take the law into their own hands if they feel that they're not getting what they want from the police.
I'll go back in there, shall I? And just give police some more points, shall I?
I don't think that's a good idea.
What's that then? I can go in up and I can handle it yourself.
I think it's easy for them to be like, right, you're not coming. I'm going to go and deal with it myself. But we always try, if they don't hang up on us, to tell them that they'll only end up getting themselves into trouble.
I'm getting sick of it, because every time I ring the police, they don't get here in time. So I just start smashing these people up myself.
So please don't say that on a recorded line. We are en route, blue lights and sirens. We're getting there as quick as possible.
It falls on deaf ears a lot of the time. And then they both end up getting arrested normally.
You need to put your property out on the desk, please, Robert.
It's Friday morning. And in Swindon's custody suite, 48-year-old Robert Elliott is being booked in.
So you already searched the address? Yes. Okay. The officers are going to explain to me why you've been arrested and why you've been brought here.
Sorry, John, that's a call from a member of the public saying that Robert has made a specific threat that he intends to go into town, smashing people's heads in with a roundabout. So he's been arrested on suspicion of possession of offensive weapon.
All right. Okay.
All right, do you need me to call anyone and tell them you're here?
No.
No, do you speak to a solicitor?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll just tell the truth.
Okay, that's fine. Head around that way for me, then.
Follow me, mate.
You know what you're doing.
Right. When I press that button, there'll be a long beep, and then after that, it'll just essentially be a chat. Okay.
Let's get it all sorted. You can go for your coffee break then, can't you?
Exactly, the man knows. Right. Where you going then?
Right.
What I'll do is I'll just play for you the CCTV we've got where you live. Just so you can see what we've got. Okay. Can you see that? Who's that who's just walked out the lift?
Me.
Okay. Who's the gent you're speaking to who's currently in the lift?
That was Keith, the caretaker.
Okay. And he's said that Robert's come out of the lift into the lobby and we said hi to each other. I asked him if he was okay and replied, not really. I got hit around the head by a couple of lads in town. I am just on my way into town to sort them out. I will make sure there's no CCTV around. And what's that in your right hand?
Baseball bat.
Okay, just confirm, obviously.
I totally agree that.
Is that the same bat?
Yeah.
BPO one? Is that the same one, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't use it. I'm not disputing that I had a baseball bat on me.
You weren't on your way to play baseball and you had no lawful reason for having that on your person at the time?
Well, I could have stopped off at the park and played baseball.
But you didn't though, did you?
No.
Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
All I will say is I got assaulted, I think it was either the day before or 2 days before that.
Mm.
And I don't take too kindly to being punched in the head for no reason.
Who assaulted you?
I don't know. I've never met him in my life.
Did you report the assault?
No. To be honest with you, I don't feel the need to run to the police every 5 minutes, right? At the end of the day, I thought, well, I'll just take matters into my own hands. That's all I want to say about that.
Okay.
Do you remember what your intention was?
You take a rounder's bat, you normally got a ball with you, haven't you? I didn't have a ball, so bit of a giveaway there.
Is there anything you wish to add, change, or clarify about the account I've just given you?
No.
Okay then.
I was just standing with my back to a wall. Next thing I know, some guys just come up and punch me straight in the face. And I thought that there'll be no charges come out of it, so I suppose I won't bother with going down that route.
Okay, the time is 11:07 and this interview is ended.
Hey, do I get to keep these?
Yep, they're a present from us to you.
God,
We're good like that, aren't we?
I'd like to go to town with a baseball bat more often. Sorry, you didn't hear that. You do have a right to stand up for yourself, and I suppose if you can sort something out yourself, you do, don't you?
Say vigilante, I think like Batman or something, but it is somebody who operates outside the law and thinks they can do what they want. But revenge and justice are two very separate things. Instead of doing things the way people should, where they come to the police and make a complaint and we investigate it, they just seem to, go, oh, there was that lad who pissed me off the other day. Gotta go and slap him.
If you'd seen the kids, what do you think happened?
Well, I don't know, but I didn't, so I suppose small mercies.
I love that she said that. It made me so happy. I'm still here, Robert. I'm not going anywhere yet, unfortunately.
Well, you know what? You've got my fingerprints on the system. You've got my address.
I can find you via your fingerprints, can I? Certain individuals who come into custody will never raise an issue with the police because, as far as they're concerned, I don't trust the police. They're not going to get me what I need. I'll deal with it my own way. All right, Robert, take care of yourself.
Hey, you know where I am?
I got it.
I want to go out on a hot day. Just come and see me.
All right, Robert, thanks for the offer. Take care of me. It's sort of gentlemen's rules. They battle it out, deal with their own way of doing things, and that's it. Occasionally it'll go wrong for them and we'll see the impact of that.
Police emergency.
Got 2 people banging at my window.
You've got 2 people banging at your window. Are they doing it now?
Yeah, they're trying to get into the flat.
It's 10 p.m, Sunday night.
I don't know who it is. They've got scarves so I can't see their faces.
They've got their faces covered.
Yeah, and they're trying to get me to go out.
PC's John Miller and Hannah Agate are dispatched to the scene.
Obviously, you need to get here as quick as possible. They're trying to get in.
They're coming on sirens and blue lights, so they'll be with you shortly, okay? Okay, you need to keep indoors, keep all your doors locked, don't respond to these people, and we'll be getting there as quickly as possible, okay?
Okay.
QJ Whiskey Tango 81, status 6. We've got 2 males appear to be running.
Stop still! Stop, please!
We've got 2 males and dark clothing. Officer, proceed. Get on the floor! Yeah, we've got 1 male stopped. Get on the floor.
Do not move.
Lie down on the floor.
Hands behind your back now.
Put your hands behind your back.
Hands behind your back now. We can do this easy way or the hard way. Hands behind your back now. It's just hurt my leg.
All right, hang on a second.
Hands behind your back now. Hands behind your back now. Hands behind your back now.
All right, I'm fucking down.
Right. Could have made that more simple, couldn't we?
When we caught up with them, he was going for his pocket.
Right. You're under arrest on suspicion of possession of an offensive weapon in a public place. Okay.
They've been clearly up to no good.
Next time, don't run away from me.
The average member of the public doesn't carry a knife. He wasn't a chef on his way home from work, I wouldn't have thought.
You all right, Chris? Mind your head.
Get too old for this.
It was a good chase. I caught him. Even at my age, I caught a young lad.
The next morning, police need to establish a motive for the intimidation. PC Nigel Wilcox is on the hunt for the victim.
Oh, yeah? Are you Paul's mum? He's not over here with you, is he?
His brother's last night.
All right, do you know where that is?
Devices.
In Devizes?
Yeah, his brother came and got him and took him up to there for the evening.
In Devizes,
Yeah.
right, okay. Did you see any of what happened last night?
I know what happened to me.
Right, okay. Was that different to what happened to Paul?
Yeah, I came home and there were 2 blokes stood on the corner over there who came across and said, "Are you Paul's mum?" As I was getting out of the car.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's that to you?" And they said, "'Cause we're going to kill him, that's what."
You gonna give me a statement?
Yeah.
Marvellous. Right. Do you want me to do that now?
Yeah.
So do you know why they're after your son?
I can only presume it's something to do with his ex. Because he's been having a lot of trouble.
Right.
They had a big row and split up and the police had to come and get her out of his flat. And then the next day, or the day after that, she accused him of assaulting her. He only had a letter last week to say he didn't have to go back to the police station because it had been dropped. No further action.
Back at the station, the suspects are ready to be interviewed.
Yeah, come on, Jack.
Starting with a 21-year-old friend of the woman at the centre of the allegation of assault.
Right, have a seat there, mate.
Hiya. Right.
This is Lucy. Right, first of all, last night, what were you doing?
Went to go and scare Paul, then just banged on his window.
Did you say scar?
To scare him.
You'd had enough then, had you?
Yeah.
Okay. You say you wanted to scare him. Did you want to go beyond that?
I just wanted to punch him. But
okay.
That was
Who did you go with?
Chris.
What did you expect Chris to be doing?
Just scare him and punch him, and then no fucking. Then found out he had a knife on him.
When did you know he had a knife on him?
And then when the copper pulled it out as well.
Is that the first time you knew he had a knife?
Yeah.
What do you think their motivation was?
I think their motivation was to kill me. Whether they would have carried it out had they got to me, I don't know. And I don't really want to think about that, but I think that's what they were hoping to achieve. They said to my mum, oh, we're here to kill your son. I think that sort of carries its own message.
We're into a whole different world, aren't we, when you start bringing knives to things. You can punch someone and they won't die, but if you punch someone with a knife in your hand, they could, couldn't they?
I'd say they were acting as judge and jury, or trying to. Luckily, they didn't succeed, so.
Put a signature on there for me, Joe, and that's just to say it's you being interviewed.
The second suspect, who was caught with a knife, is next to be brought in.
First of all, what has Paul done to upset you?
No comment.
OK.
I don't know what my ex said to him, but I'd never been in trouble with the police before at all, so it was quite a shock when they turned up to my door saying, you know, we've got to do this because there's been a serious allegation against you, so you need to come in for questioning and stuff.
Why did you feel the need to take a balaclava with you, a mask?
No comment.
I had a phone call from the police a couple of weeks later saying the case has been dropped against you, it's not going to court. So that sort of made me feel, well, you know, I'm an innocent man again. I was innocent anyway, but I'm innocent, you know, in the eyes of the law, so I could go back to how my life was before.
When the officer was struggling to control you, he says that you were trying to get to your coat pocket where the knife was. Why were you trying to pull the knife out? Were you?
No comment.
They may well think that their form of justice is more appropriate.
You're not going anywhere tonight.
But we live in a civilised society and we have to have rules. What they were doing was completely bypassing the justice system, and that is no justice at all.
Time is now 15:36. Interview's over.
They did cross the line. They crossed the line in a big way.
You know, if they thought about it and rang the police would have told them that I was found not guilty, so I could have killed an innocent person for some hearsay, basically.
We police by consent. We need that consent and that trust to be able to uphold the law and keep people safe. If you take that away, it would be chaos.
Hey! Was that your mate in the white martial Largo? If he fucking comes back here, I will kill him.
Right, Harry.
He came over to
Harry.
me.
If you're going to involve yourself as a member of the public into trying to sort a situation out yourself, you need to remember that you can't go overboard.
Harry, you need to listen to me.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You're on a recorded line. You've just made threats towards that male. You don't even know he's involved. I suggest you stop talking to him now.
Okay.
The words that the law uses are proportionate and necessary.
All right, thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
If you go overboard with something, then you'll be looking at being arrested and possibly charged yourself.
In Swindon Custody Suite, the boss of a company has been brought in after one of his workers was beaten up.
I'm a custody sergeant, okay? I need to know why you're here and the circumstances of your arrest. So if you listen up, one of these officers is going to explain to me the reason why you're here, okay?
Sarge, we've attended this gentleman's work address following a report that was made, an allegation of GBH, where it's alleged that, along with two others, have attacked a gentleman by the name of Paul using weapons such as iron bars, causing severe head and facial injuries requiring hospital treatment.
What do you do for a living?
The other two suspects are both employees at the same firm.
Have you had any alcohol today? No. Any non-prescribed drugs?
Any special dietary or religious needs?
No, just bacon butty, bread and nice.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so we're going through a booking in process now, so we'll ask you questions about your health and well-being.
This interview is being tape recorded and may be given in evidence if your case is brought to court. I am DC 2264 Justine Parsons. You've been arrested on suspicion of attempt GBH.
Right.
I've got Paul's statement. He's saying...
He's got jumbo through both, yeah, exactly, yeah. Absolute lies. Monday morning, the lads rang me up and said there's been a breaker pinched. Now, that's a hydraulic breaker. It's about £2,500 worth kit. We looked through the CCTV and we all agreed he's pinched it. He pulls this breaker off the truck. Furious, there I am. I shout to him, Paul, come here. He starts to run. To me, that's guilt. Charlie and Steve hears me shout. Of course, they chased him because they've got to pay me back for leaving the breaker out. They know Paul's at it, and they chased him. All they've said to me is, we've dealt with it, and that's that.
What did you actually hear?
Screaming and shouting.
They're going to say at no point did you tell them to go and beat him up or sort him out or do anything to him? No. No. Okay.
Right, are you in the yard on Tuesday morning and there is some sort of disagreement?
Yeah, there was arguing in the yard, yeah.
Was he arguing about the stolen breaker?
I don't know, honestly, I don't know.
If you know somebody's touched something,
I don't know.
Because we'll tell you what we know.
Yeah, but I don't know who's been arguing. I don't know anything. I've stayed out of it. That's it. That is it.
That's not what your boss is telling us.
Yeah, but I don't know what he's told you. I don't know what's been going on.
What he is saying is that you've gone round to the back of the house and he hears screaming.
No comment.
Have you all got together and had a conversation about not saying anything, sticking to your stories? Is that the case?
No comment.
Problem is, if you're being quiet because you think you're protecting somebody else, I would suggest that is a fairly silly idea because there's nobody out there that's protecting you. If you have had that conversation, not everyone's sticking to it.
That's all I can tell you. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't have to say anything.
Other people have said that
I have
you've
not
been
touched
there.
anybody. I'm telling you now, I have not laid my hands on nobody.
Right.
I haven't.
No comment. I wasn't there. I don't know what you're on about. I don't know anything. Well, actually, that's not the case, is it? You know, we've spoken to the boss. We know what's happened.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
This is your chance to tell us what's happened. And sometimes they'll speak, and sometimes they just won't. I've got Paul's statement. He said the three of them come out and they walked towards me and your boss shouted, "Get in that fucking yard." Charlie and Steve then started running towards me and I ran and then jumped over a fence into a garden of a neighbouring house. Steve has then cut me off in the garden and grabbed me. I then started getting kicked and hit with metal poles. They were kicking and stomping on my head.
Yeah, no, I've not touched a man, love, so.
This is two people on one. That sounds like a cowardly act, don't you think?
I don't know what he's on about, love.
Sounds cowardly though, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a reason why you're sort of smirky?
No, I just can't really believe what I'm actually going through. I didn't expect to get this when I come to work this morning.
Can you tell when someone's lying?
Quite often. Body language, they may not give you direct eye contact, they look elsewhere. Sometimes they can get aggressive, sometimes they can go the other way and go really quiet. Okay, let me show you some pictures. These are exhibit LJB02. You saw him on that morning. Can you explain how he got these injuries?
No, I didn't notice them, but he might have had them. I didn't pay too much attention.
And you wouldn't notice that big gash on his head? No?
Might have done. No, not that I've seen. I have not noticed that, but I haven't paid that much attention.
Just to clarify, he may have had this when he came to work on Tuesday, but you didn't
when you
notice.
work with someone every day, I'm afraid you go in the yard, you get your stuff. You don't really look at every facial detail on a person.
You wouldn't notice two black eyes.
What they were giving me? Rubbish. Talking rubbish. They talk as if you're stupid. If you're going to believe that, no.
Your knuckles, what happened to those?
Oh, that pipe works, crazy. It's working in the trench and that.
Interesting. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
You never thought of reporting the breaker to the police?
The thing is, the theft it has been reported because I couldn't report that until I seen the CCTV.
But when you saw the CCTV, you could have called the police straight away. You could have not gone in an
I
angry...
wanted an explanation. Why would you want to do that? Like, you know, why?
If we would have called about it first of all, we could have done an investigation into that. Or at least seize his mobile phone to see if he's made any text conversation about selling a breaker.
But the
You've
reality
taken
is...
the law into your own hands.
No, I
You're
haven't.
not sad, but your colleagues have.
I've had loads of kit pinched. I usually come here and get a crime number, but the thing is, reality is you never find it.
The justice system as a whole is creaking and has been for years. It's not perfect by any means. And as a result of that, people do feel let down on a regular basis. And yes, I think there is a proportion of society who decide to not even use the system at all and bypass it. And unfortunately, as police, as the front line of the criminal justice system, we do bear the brunt for that.
Why did you not shout back to Charlie and Steve, oi, come here a minute, I'm going to call the police? Why didn't you try and help?
It's got nothing to do with me.
But it's your breaker, you're the one that's upset.
But the thing is, if someone's going to go and do something, I didn't want any part of that at all.
You could have easily gone round there and said, oi, stop it, pack it in, pulled them off, done whatever. You could have done that, couldn't you?
No, because it's got nothing to do with me at all. Nothing to do with me at all.
But you are the boss, this is your company. They're your employees. You could have easily turned around and said, look, you two, oi, back here. But you chose not to.
How much of this sort of thing goes on out there that you don't get to see?
I would imagine a lot.
So you're going to be bailed, okay? There is a condition on that.
You know, times are changing. It's more violent.
Got those in your pocket for me?
You probably see the tip of the iceberg, really.
Emergency? Police emergency?
Yeah, Trowbridge Town Centre, please.
Who's called? What's it regarding?
Theft.
Okay, and whereabouts?
From Sainsbury's, 3 bottles of Cavossier.
I take it you're following him on foot.
Yeah, he's ran, but I want to keep it a safe distance.
Police receive a call from a supermarket security guard.
Right, what street are you on now?
I'm by the shopping centre.
Won't be a moment.
Who can I help?
I was connected to someone. I'll give him a call back, don't worry.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Moments later, the same security guard
Emergency?
calls back.
Hello there. I rang up to say that there was a male that was wanted for shoplifting inside the Shires. He's now currently in Asda.
Right, okay. Can you actually see the male now, can you?
He's about to steal from Asda right now. Apparently waiting outside to see if we can see any police pull up.
Okay, just putting the details onto a log for you at the moment.
Is there anybody on the way?
Not at the moment. I'll send that to my dispatch, and obviously they'll look to get the nearest available officer out to you within this hour.
Right.
If you do get detained or anything, then do give us a call back.
In Wiltshire Police Control Room,
Emergency?
I need your assistance as an immediate in Trowbridge.
another call is coming through, this time from the ambulance service.
In the car park of the Shires outside Asda, we've had a male who tried to steal some bottles that went wrong, unconscious when we got there.
You're there now, are you?
We're on scene now. We've got the helicopter and everything, so blood everywhere. Traumatic cardiac arrest.
Sergeant David Cooper is the first officer to arrive on the scene.
Can you do some CPR? You have to.
The injured man has suffered major lacerations to the stomach.
Right. Check the store. Check if we've got CCTV of him in there and him coming out. If you jack that first, that would be lovely.
What I'm going to do is keep going to the left side of the chest.
Do you need somebody to?
Okay. We've still got holes there.
The first thought was, thank God the paramedics are here, because those injuries were beyond anything that myself or my officers would have been able to deal with. I was also aware that the security guard who tackled the injured party was present.
We known this male from earlier on. I first came across him when he stole 3 bottles of Colossus.
Right.
As he's come out, basically grabbed hold of him as we come up behind him. His hands were in his pockets, and we've gone forward and we've landed on the floor, and it seems to be that he's landed on the bottle. One of the bottles is smashed. Right. He's landed on, and it's cut his stomach. Okay. It's here.
All right. He was obviously aware that serious injuries had occurred to the shoplifter. He was, to my mind, calmer than I expected him to be.
The man has lost so much blood that doctors decide to carry out an emergency thoracotomy.
I'm just going to open up the handle a little bit more.
The procedure involves opening the chest cavity to allow doctors to massage the heart by hand.
Yeah, so if you can just give him 0.5 milligram of adrenaline. There we go, we're there.
Yeah, Dave, sorry, I put you on then.
Yeah, sorry, mate. This job at ASDA, they're doing CPR, and doesn't look particularly brilliant. He's got quite severe lacerations around the stomach area. I've been in traffic for a number of years, so I've seen pretty horrendous injuries. Because it is a hell of a thing to do to somebody. And it really is last chance saloon.
Are they going to Bath or Swindon?
They're going to be a little while with him yet. They're putting blood products into him. Don't know where he's going yet. I'll do an update as soon as I find out.
I've got nothing on there. I think we've probably reached a point where we're not going to gain anything more by continuing this update. Thank you very much, everybody, for all your efforts.
I got one of the lads who tackled him. I'll take him back to Trowbridge, and we can go from there.
At Melksham Custody Suite, 20-year-old Jordan Rose, the security guard who tackled the shoplifter, has been held overnight for questioning.
So what powers do security guards have?
They have the same powers as any other member of the public. If they do decide that they want to stop somebody, then they can use reasonable force in the circumstances given.
I'm going to go round this way. We'll take it back to Mr.
The question is what he did reasonable in the circumstances to effect that arrest?
We will be interviewing you today. Your comments.
You've been arrested yesterday on suspicion of offence of manslaughter. We've reviewed the evidence, but at this stage we've not spoken to you. This interview is about finding out what happened and to give you the opportunity to give your explanation. What can you tell us about what happened yesterday, Jordan, at Asda in Trowbridge?
Leading up to yesterday's events, I'd first come across this male in my perimeter patrol, concealing bottles of alcohol. So I pursued the male, stopped him just by the ATM outside the front of the store. I was going to detain the male, but I did notice this male in his left pocket had sharps. So that posed a risk to me, to him, and to anybody else who was around us.
What made you think he had sharps on?
Because I could see it in his left pocket. They were longer than the height of his pocket.
Okay.
So I let him go. He walked off. I was very sceptical on whether this male was going to come back or not. So I decided to have a scoot around the area. I wanted to see where, if he was sticking around. A couple of minutes after, I spotted the male headed towards the exit of the Shires, down the ramp and towards Asda. I started to slowly pursue the male and rang the police. We were hoping for an officer to turn up, hopefully to arrest him and then leave it at that. The response time from the police 2 years ago to what they are today is horrendous. 2 years ago, you ring them and say you've got a shoplifter detained, they'd be there in a couple of minutes. They'd send a unit out, blue light it, they'd be there. Now, they'd ask you how serious it was. If it's not serious, do you mind letting him go? It's not right. It really ain't right. There's more of us in town than there are of them, usually.
You're waiting for the police to arrive or hoping that the police will arrive?
We were hoping the police were going to get there before he left.
Yeah.
That was the idea. Whilst we were outside waiting for the police, I was told the male was down the back aisle at the moment, but he had concealed 2 bottles. There was no warning that he was about to leave the store. The only way we acknowledged the fact that he walked out of the store was he'd set both Asda's side door alarms off. I went up behind the male and used a procedure that I've used before, which is trying to get my arms underneath his arms here in order to restrict him from reaching for his pockets because of the evidence of the sharps he had at him earlier on. Once I'd gone behind him and put my arms underneath him, we've stumbled. We've stumbled a couple of steps and we've both hit the floor.
Is the intention to take somebody to the ground?
No.
Or is it to...
No.
Okay.
It's purely to get him up against the wall.
In terms of falling to the ground, it wasn't a rugby tackle?
No.
To
falling to the ground, no.
Okay, all right. So then you did fall to the ground?
We did, yeah. We stumbled and fell to the ground.
Okay.
How do you respond to people who say you used excess force?
I believe that everybody has an opinion. A lot of opinions that came across, they've got no experience in that work. To say that they would have dealt with it differently, they would have done this, they would have done that, they wouldn't have, because they've never been in that situation. They've never been in that line of work. When we've landed, I've landed sort of by the side of him. I felt a liquid hit my trouser. Pulling his jacket away from him, we could see that there was broken glass underneath the t-shirt. It annihilated the bottle. It was smashed to pieces, and Gentleman Jack bottles are quite thick. He kept going unconscious whilst Andy was on his wound, so I kept tapping him on the face, shouting at him, just saying anything I could to just try and keep him awake. I was praying that they were going to keep him alive. I was really, really hoping they would, but deep down it's not going to go right.
At the inquest, the coroner concluded that the 30-year-old shoplifter died as the result of the unintended consequence of a deliberate act.
So you're going to be released on unconditional bail?
Every time I think about it, I feel very, very sorry for him. I got the chance to meet his mum. She came up to me and gave me a hug and said that, she doesn't hold anything against me, and neither does the family. It was a relief to meet them and know that they didn't hold any guilt towards me for what happened.
Have you any thoughts of self-harm, suicide? I'm struggling to cope. There are people we can put you in touch with.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, he didn't leave his house that morning to go out and seriously injure somebody. Likewise, the shoplifter didn't go out but intending to die. Your life isn't worth 2 bottles of spirits. Nobody's life is worth 2 bottles of spirits.
Promise me you won't do anything? Good, excellent.
I think he did the right thing. Whether or not he thought through what he did before he did it is another issue.
Dark blue.
Do you think people should intervene if they see wrongdoing?
The police service in general says, leave it to us. And that goes against the grain for a lot of people.
All right. Cheers, bye.
I can't sit here and say, don't. Because people will. But you've got to accept that if it does go wrong, there will be consequences.
It's 5 p.m, Monday afternoon.
Good evening, Adam speaking. How can I help?
My name is Jim Scully. We had a chance to come in through my back door, snatch my wife's bag and run out with it. Fortunately, he went down a blind alley and I was able to recover it.
Gosh, okay. We've got someone on the way out to you, okay.
Oh, thank you very much.
And your date of birth, Jim?
28th of the 2nd, tomorrow in fact, 1935.
Oh, happy birthday for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, thank you. I didn't expect at 82 to have a punch-up with somebody.
Well, certainly very, very brave of you Jim.
Hiya, you all right? How are you? Yeah. What's happened then?
Wow, it's unbelievable. My wife's bag is here. That's where we park it.
Okay.
Back door opens, comes straight in, grabs it, straight out again. So
you were in here, were you?
Yeah.
Oh. Is that the bag
That's
there?
the bag, yeah.
Okay. And everything's still in it that was in it, so he's not got anything?
No, yeah, he didn't have a chance to do anything. So I'm run out, and he's parked the bike just on the pathway, just back into my garden. Fortunately for me, there's a dead end. So I caught up with him by then.
Yeah.
And he rides straight at me as fast as I knew he would. So I grabbed the bike so that the bike wouldn't hurt me. Then I hit him.
Right.
I was greatly surprised that anybody would dare to come in about 4:30 in the afternoon and think somebody's going to walk into your house with us sat there. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
The initial thing is you act on impulse. You can. This chap coming into my home, I got up and went after him, and it was as simple as that. So it all happened here.
So he's gone all the way up there, you've stopped here?
Yeah, I stopped here. So stopped the bike and I hit him and we had another one or two. I punched him twice actually. I don't think he didn't hit me twice. And away he went.
Yeah.
So there we are.
It could have been reckless for him to do it because he doesn't know what that person may do or may have on him. If you saw him again, do you think you would recognise him?
Doubt it.
Okay.
Had he come up with a knife, I still would think I would be trying to punch him, definitely.
How hard out of 10 would you say that you punched him?
10.
Okay. All right.
Reasonable force is what you can do to stop something happening. So, for instance, a reasonable force, if someone is attacking you, it might be, if necessary, to strike them back. Potentially even a preemptive strike.
Did you injure him?
I wouldn't have thought so.
I'm just wondering, because if someone's wandering around with a broken nose, that's our guy, isn't it? So,
yeah.
But I don't think he's going to come back, is he? I think you've frightened him off.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think it's a basic right that you've got to either protecting your family or your home or even yourself, for that matter. It could have been different, but I got away with it, to be honest.
Never even thought about it, and I wish I was 10 years younger and I could have detained him. But 10 years on, let him go. Happy birthday, Jim.
Milk it for a little bit. When I say a little bit, I'd milk it for the rest of the year, at least.
See an example of the right side of the line.
He was spot on with what he did. It depends where you draw the line. If you see a fight on the street, would you try and intervene in that fight and stop it? And is that taking the law into your own hands, or is that just being a good human being? Whilst I remember, I'm going to take that photograph of the lump on your head.
Police emergency. Hi, I've got a person who's drunk driving a van who's aggressive, but I took his car keys.
It's a very difficult area because there's always going to be a situation where you're going to need to stick your head above the parapet and do something. And, you know, we're all, at some point in our lives, could well face that situation.
Police emergency.
But it has to be justified and has to be proportionate.
Hello, a car's just gone into the back of me, and I pulled over and he's driven off. I'm going to try and follow him if I can.
Where possible, you should absolutely always leave it to the professionals to deal with it. That's what we get paid for.
If somebody has decided to shoplift a piece of meat, is it worth your life in chasing them for that piece of meat? Is what you're doing worth the risk you're about to take?
I can't be forced to sit in a police cell for fucking ages.
Joseph was given a 22-month suspended sentence for making threats to kill.
You're under arrest on suspicion of possession of an offensive weapon.
His friend, Christopher Ford, was jailed for 2 years.
I'm telling you now, I have not laid my hands on nobody.
The 2 employees were found guilty of actual bodily harm, and both received suspended jail sentences. The victim of the attack was never prosecuted for the alleged theft. No further action was taken against the boss of the company.
Basically grabbed hold of him and come up behind him.
The manslaughter case against Jordan Rose was dropped.
Have you any thoughts of self-harm, suicide? There are people we can put you in touch with.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He no longer works as a supermarket security guard.